Well, finding a job and keeping your job are two big challenges in today's fragile market. Recently, on KUSI, we asked our Facebook friends to send in their job questions. And this morning, Marcy Morrison from Careers with Wings is here with some answers. And we had a lot of questions. Good morning.
Good morning.
Let's start with the first one. This says, what are employees looking for? I went on a group interview. Everyone except for me had 7+ years of experience. So why would they bring me in? I just don't get what employers are looking for. You have qualified candidates. Some are overqualified. What do they really want?
I know a lot of times people feel like they're in this black hole and this mystery that they can't figure out. And really what it comes down to is employers are looking for fit. And it may not be the number of years of experience, it may be the personality and the type of experience. But I tell people the key to unlocking that mystery is to do a lot of informational interviews. Get inside connections to that company, whether that's you're looking on LinkedIn, you're going to events, however it is that you're going to get inside information to not make it a mystery. What is that company looking for?
And you mentioned the connections, and we were talking about this during the commercial break.
Right.
Connections are more important than ever.
Exactly, and as we talked about too, in a good economy, 80% of all jobs come through networking, but in this economy, I'm finding that it's probably even 90, 95%. Looking at postings on Craigslist and Monster is a little bit like a black hole right now. You need to create opportunities and be proactive.
All right, speaking of Craigslist, our second question. Most jobs posted on Craigslist are without any company information, which makes it impossible to research the company and find particulars that you can relate to. How can I make my resume and cover letter stand out online without being too vague?
I know, and the online thing, again, the chances of something happening from that, I would even venture to guess, would be about 5% right now. So making it stand out is not online, it's in person. I know somebody that recently got a job by hand delivering his resume to the employer and making a presentation while he was there why he was the best candidate. So a lot of it is not, you can't disappear behind the computer screen. It's out there putting your face out in public.
The personal connection.
Exactly.
Question number 3, what if you are pretty young and you haven't worked before in your life, but you really need some money? But no one's going to hire you because you are young and have no experience. So what do? Please help me, KUSI.
And first of all, I tell people a lot of times, a lot of it's your attitude. I actually had a young woman, a recent grad, come and work with me to gain some experience. And what I had told her, I said, is the first thing is if you think you're not going to get a job, that's the first strike against you. You've got to change that attitude and look at the value you have to add, or that you have to provide. And so it may be like this woman was very smart. She took an internship with me that was unpaid, but she had work experience to put on her resume, and then went out there with the energy and enthusiasm that she had something to sell. So a lot of times it's volunteering, and it may be like we were even talking about before too, is finding opportunities. So, for example, I know somebody that wanted to work in a film company, and he found an opportunity to move boxes there. And then on the side, he started doing projects for them and demonstrating the value that he was willing to add.
So no job is too low if you're trying to get into a certain position.
Absolutely.
All right, number 4, I have not been working in the last 4 years, and I'm trying to find a job now. On my resume, can I add homemaker to my jobs category? I've been applying everywhere, and I can't help but to think that employers don't want to hire me due to my being unemployed for so long.
I see this a lot because I work a lot with stay-at-home moms going back to work.
That's a job, being a stay-at-home mom.
It is, definitely. And what I find is a lot of times stay-at-home moms are running the PTA, or running galas. So what I tell people is if you have substantial volunteer experience, I would actually put that over homemaker, because sometimes you had a budget of $500,000 and you had to run that. So
working with people, a lot of them.
Absolutely, absolutely. And a lot of times too, these stay-at-home moms going back to work have an incredible network around them. They are entrenched in the community, and they haven't actually leveraged those networks. So tap into all the people around you that on those events. These people have seen you work. In fact, I just hired a stay-at-home mom to work with me, and it was somebody that I had done volunteer work, and I knew the quality of her work.
Let's get to this last one really quick. I was laid off a couple of months ago. I was in marketing, really love what I do. I've been applying to jobs that are similar as the one I used to do, but after almost 100 applications and only 7 interviews that have not turned into anything solid, I'm starting to think, well, things aren't working out. Should I be more flexible? What is your advice?
My advice is to definitely look at your full skill set. I know somebody recently that went from a CFO and he couldn't find a position in that arena anymore. So he said, what are my full skill sets? And he said, well, I do have a law degree. So he ended up going back into law. So a lot of times you have to look at broadening and really examining your full skill set.
Marcy Morrison, always a pleasure to talk with you. Thanks for your tips for our Facebook friends and everybody else out there. We'll see you next time.
Okay, thank you.
Enjoy your President's Day.
Thank you.
Mike Castellucci is doing that.